Hello, so this is my post trip outline of my trip to Israel. First question is to synthesize how the various environmental factors have facilitated a successful entrepreneurship culture. So, politically, Israel has a free market economy that stands out from its neighbors in the Middle East. They also have a stable government, much of which we were able to see during our visit to the Knesset. As we heard from our friends at Trendline Capital as well as other companies, the Israeli government favors entrepreneurship and offers various programs um, and funding to aspiring entrepreneurs. Economically, there's a very strong technology sector among other thriving industries. There's also a high rate of education, which stems from both school and military experience. Ethically, Israel has amazing views on risk taking and innovation, which is a product of chutzpah, heavily instilled during military service. Innovation also falls under the lines of the culture, which stems from Israel's diverse population, which includes high immigration and a variety of cultural backgrounds. Socially, there's an amazing startup community present in Israel, especially in the Tel Aviv area, which we spent a couple days in. Having dinner with the woman from Facetune was able to give us lots of examples of events, programs, and resources that entrepreneurs can use for their business advantage. There are also many venture capitalists, VCs, that can help take off an idea or growing business. Israel is also the tech capital of the world, known as the startup nation. Israel is never shy of building on new ideas and innovation, which helps build their economy and strengthen their influence and power. It's also important to note that the geography of Israel is a huge factor in their success. Having low resources and high conflict, they have no choice but to innovate to survive. The desalination plant was a great example of making something out of nothing. Next question is discuss what you see as strengths and weaknesses of the Israeli culture and how it relates to entrepreneurship and how it impacts the rest of the world. So, in terms of strength of the Israeli culture, there are far too many to name. Their sense of innovation and risk taking helps tremendously in entrepreneurship. It's also mandatory as a country that they excel in global exports, especially considering that they don't have any resources to provide. This means that their main source of exportation comes from businesses, products, etc., much of which are sold to American companies, and this can benefit not only Israel's economy. In terms of weaknesses, risk taking can definitely hurt people as well. Israel is not a cheap place to live, especially in Tel Aviv, so dropping everything and starting an idea is not always beneficial, yet people still do it. Everlasting conflict and political tension only makes things harder as well. The uncertainty can be a very scary thing, but it can also be a motivation. It just depends which way you look at it. The next question is analyze the trip overall to interpret the differences between corporate entrepreneurship, and a small business owner. The first thing we saw on our trip to Israel was entrepreneurship, which was prominent in companies like Faye. These are the people who start a business with an idea and dedicate a big portion of their life into making it a success. We also saw that the first idea of the company wasn't nearly the same as the end product. So there were a lot of tweaks and changes, and sometimes a whole new idea that these companies found while they were in the midst of growing. Next, we saw corporate entrepreneurship, which showed already reputable companies expanding their business with new ideas and products. Companies like Facetune and Simply were able to show us their new products, which helps them expand their market share and stay competitive in their selective industries. Finally, we saw small businesses. Many of these were family owned with many different cultures and backgrounds. From the local hummus shop in Jaffa to the clothing seller in Shuka Carmel, these people spend their days working to make a living for their family. One of the most interesting things I saw was that these people were better salesmen than most of the bigger companies we visited. In Israel, there's value everywhere, and I think that was really inspiring. Next question is for 3 companies, explain their business model and specific opportunities their company is solving. So the first company who found an opportunity to solve something that I thought was really special was Faye. They saw a flaw in travel insurance and wanted to make it a whole more personal experience. Think as if your friend was also your travel agent who wanted you to get the best of your experience no matter what. Faye has been growing steadily, and I hope to see them expand to larger markets as the time comes. The next company who saw an opportunity is Hasub. The founder has spent his recent life in the pursuit to give Palestinians and other Arabic populations a chance to venture into the tech and entrepreneurship space, which is very inaccessible for the greater population. To see him leave his life and other opportunities, which while making seemingly unattainable promises to the people who support him, was incredible, and I know that the passion that he has will lead him and others to success. The final company who I felt have found a great opportunity is the Kinneret Center for Innovation. They've been advocating for startup growth in northern Israel, where there are countless agrotech opportunities that are on the verge of blowing up. Supporting education and innovation for northern Israelis has been the center's goal, and I don't doubt that we will see countless success stories in agrotech and similar industries in the future. Next, explain how this experience further developed your entrepreneurship mindset and how you will use that to generate a more productive entrepreneurial environment for your own and your society's benefit. As someone who has been very interested in entrepreneurship, this program surpassed all my hopes. The biggest takeaway is that there are countless opportunities in the world meant to be broken into. Additionally, I learned the importance of being adaptable and taking risks in order to succeed as an entrepreneur. The resilience and resourceful attitude of the Israeli entrepreneurs I met during my time in Israel was truly inspiring and has encouraged me to approach my own ventures with a similar mindset. Overall, this program has provided me with the knowledge, inspiration, and confidence to pursue my entrepreneurial aspirations, and I'm excited to apply what I've learned in my future trips. This trip has benefited me in so many ways, and I truly will never forget it. As someone who has always wanted to live in Israel, even if it were temporary, my urge has only grown. The culture and business aspects in Israel match exactly with my values and goals, and I wouldn't have seen much of it without this program. I've also strengthened my desire to travel, not only to Israel, but to other countries. Exploration is infinite in this world that we live in, and I hope to spend my life seeing as much as I can. All in all, this program was definitely the highlight of my experience at KU, and I thank everyone who was a part of the program. Thank you.